I don't know where you've been, but you're gonna respect this courtroom. My life has proven that it's not about where you come from, it's about where you're going. From a jailed youth who had my record expunged to becoming the youngest judge elected.
The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding.
In just 15 years. Ma'am, let me know when you want to go to rehab. Otherwise, I think you're a crackhead.
Absolutely not.
My goal is to inspire others to overcome their obstacles. You don't need him and his little raggedy roommate.
Thank you.
All while having a little fun on Mathis Court. You look like you're ready to lie right the first word out your mouth. This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Marcus McGill is suing Vance Bach in the amount of $1,000.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may be seated.
Mr. McGill claims he hired Mr. Bach to cook for a gathering in his home and says the personal chef stormed out of the party and left the roast to burn in the oven.
State your name, sir.
Marcus McGill, Your Honor.
You?
Vance Bach, sir.
All right, sir, you're suing the defendant for $1,000,
That's correct, Your Honor.
alleging he owes this money because he didn't complete his duties as a private chef.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Start with you. Give me some background.
Well, Marcus McGill is my name, as I said, and I first met the defendant when he was a chef at my favorite restaurant, La Magnifique Rosa in Malibu. He cooks an amazing prime rib, best I've ever had in my life. And
You ever heard of that joint?
Yeah.
Okay, he's Malibu, man. Go ahead.
Well, and one day I went to the restaurant and...
I'm still in Inglewood eating. Go ahead.
Well, you know, the house that I stay at in Malibu is owned by you.
Oh, no.
When I
Go ahead, sir.
visit.
I showed up at the restaurant one day and I asked to make sure that Vance was there because I wanted to have his prime rib. I have a good relationship with the restaurant owner and he said he'd been fired. And I was like, what happened? And he said, well, I can't really talk about it. So a couple months later, I was at the restaurant and one of the servers I'm pretty on good terms with, I asked, what happened to Vance? Where is he? Oh, he's been in rehab. He was diagnosed with alcoholism, been in rehab. He's out now, and I'm sorry to hear that, but I'm glad he got help. Is he going to work again? And she said he's actually doing private parties now. I said, well, that's great. I could have him over at my house, have the prime rib in my own house, so that'd be great. So I was able to get his number from her. And I called him, reconnected with him, and I asked him, if you want to come over, I'm going to have 4 of my friends over. If you can bring some appetizers, dessert, and your prime rib. And he said, sure. They would be $500 for 2 hours of work. And he'd also get $500 for any groceries he needed. Anything that was left over, he could keep that as well. So that's what happened. And but a couple of days...
Was it in writing or just verbal agreement?
Oh, we have a contract, Your Honor.
Let me see the written agreement, please, Amir. Continue.
And a couple of days before the party was to begin, he sent me a text message, and he said, I'm a recovering alcoholic. If you could do me a favor, I'm in my first year of recovery. In where I'm working and in the dining room, if you could make sure there are no open containers of alcohol while I'm working there. I said, that's fine. I have friends in recovery.
This is after you all had come to this agreement.
That's correct, Your Honor. Yeah. While he was working, and then after the food was served, he was going to leave, and then we could open up whatever bottles we wanted.
Sir, let me hear from you.
Your Honor, I do have a text agreement where he did agree to those terms very kindly. I've been a chef for a long time. Worked at a high-end restaurant, La Magnifique Rosa. Was head chef there, actually, for a number of years until I got let go to some troubles with alcoholism. I quickly went into recovery.
How old were you when you start abusing alcohol?
When I started abusing alcohol, I was just turned 26 years old.
All right, so you went how long to rehab? Because I want everybody to know and let you be an inspiration to these folks watching.
Yeah.
How long? What did you do?
So it was a 2-month in rehab program, and then I've been working the AA program ever since. Been doing my 12 steps, making amends with all those I've wronged and had issues with while I was, just abusing my substance of choice.
And I appreciate you saying making amends. That is real rehabilitation, or that is real efforts to rehabilitate yourself, to be conscious of the things you've done to others. You said, how long before the event did you tell him no alcohol? At the time or how long after the contract? Because the problem you have is not in the contract.
Yeah, it wasn't very long after the contract. Around the 12th of August, we had that text message agreement, and the party was towards the end of the month.
But let me hear what happened.
All right. He showed up a little bit late. That wasn't a big deal. One of my guests showed up late as well. He went to work. My friend, he says he found a bottle of Russian pepper vodka, which is very, very hard to find these days. I told my friend, don't open it here. Let's go downstairs so we don't bother Vance, and we can open up down there. One of my friends then asks, the one who showed up late, he parked like at the top of a cul-de-sac in my neighborhood. I live in a gated community, and he said, "Is that okay?" And I said, "No, there's very, very strict parking restrictions here. So you need to go." But I tried to give him directions, but it was kind of confusing. So I said, "Can you just give me the keys, and I'll go take care of your car, and we'll all come back and have dinner."
Coming up on Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
They mistook my drink for the soda that I poured for him. They brought a tray up with their drinks, gave him what they thought was a soda, but it was actually vodka.
Shouldn't have brought the drinks up at all.
I told
he
them.
didn't want them.
And later,
Day before the homecoming dance, she calls me and tells me, "Why is my ex-boyfriend on this bus?" I tell her, "What that got to do with anything?"
if you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Marcus McGill, who is suing Vance Bach for breach of contract.
And I leave the house, and go to the car, and then repark it where it won't get towed. That took about 10, 15 minutes. And I'm getting back to the house maybe around 9:15, right about the time dinner's supposed to be served. And Vance is no longer there. And my party guests look at me like, "God, did you just miss everything?" And I said, "Well, what happened?"
Don't tell me he took a bottle.
He didn't take a
And
bottle,
ran
but
off.
what happened was my friends mistaking.
Well, y'all caught him in the closet drinking. Please don't tell me anything.
Well, what happened was they mistook my drink for the soda that I poured for him. They brought a tray up with their drinks, gave him what they thought was a soda, but it was actually vodka.
Shouldn't have brought the drinks up at all. He
I
said
told
he
them.
didn't want them.
I told them to stay downstairs, but I wasn't there, Your Honor. So, and though that I think what happened, I wasn't there, but my guest said he became first nauseous, had to go into the bathroom, retch a bit, and then became very, very verbally aggressive, very, very insulting to me, to my guests, and then just left and was gone. And that was the end of it.
Sir, what happened?
Everything was going amazing. All the guests, 4 of them, including the host, that makes 5. They were enjoying their caviar, their bacon-wrapped dates, their crackers, having a grand old time. But his friends come up the stairs. They've got a tray of drinks, all looking the same to me. I get handed a drink by the same friend who doesn't know how to park a car or read, apparently. So I, say thank you. I go back to check on the prime rib because it's just about time to pull it out of the oven. And this is my signature dish. I got to make sure this is going right. Enjoy a sip of my drink, or was going to enjoy the sip before I realized it was liquor. I took a sip of that liquor and I was just absolutely beside myself. Didn't know what to do. All I knew is I had already thrown my life away once with alcoholism, and I just shortly put it back together, still working on building my life, and I get handed negligently some alcohol and can just kind of see it all slipping through my hands again. I got out of there just in a blind fit, packed up my stuff, and took off without even speaking with Marcus. He did call me later that evening, and I was still in just such a blind fury that I wasn't seeing any sense. That phone call went nowhere, led to nothing except coming here in front of you.
What? How far did you go before leaving in your preparation?
The roast was in the oven.
What was left to be done?
It just needed to be pulled out, Your Honor.
That's it?
That's it. Let one of the guests know as I was storming off, meat's in the oven, just needs to be pulled out.
Did you say that? You
Yes,
told
I
one
did.
of the guests?
To the guest whose car was being moved. Let him know, I'm out of here, tell Marcus I'm gone, roast is in the oven.
Sir, did your guest tell you that?
No,
That he
yeah,
was
he didn't, Your Honor.
informed by the defendant that the roast was in the oven and that's all you needed to do was pull it out?
He did not inform me of that, Your
What
Honor.
did you find to be missing from his work?
The serving of the roast, which stayed in the oven and eventually burnt.
No one smelled it?
No, that's how I knew it was burning and knew it was in there.
You still smell it before it burns. What did you think? You weren't paying attention or something? He had gone,
Right, and I tried to call
and you
him.
didn't see roast on the table.
No, Your Honor.
So where did you think it might be?
I assumed it was in the oven, of course.
Right. So why didn't you go in the oven and look and pull it out?
I had no idea if it was ready, if it was not. I don't cook. That's why I bring someone like Vance over, so I didn't know.
He's gone. Vance is gone. So
Right,
you got to
right.
cook that day.
Yeah, right.
You got to learn real quick.
Yeah. But by the time I realized it was too late, it was burnt.
Sir, do you have any evidence that you told this other guy that?
I do not.
The guy that can't
It was
park.
all just verbal, Your Honor.
That if you were able to prove that, I might give you a break. But you're unable to prove that, and I have to take that alcohol equation out. That's a conditional contract. That's a condition to the contract. But I have to take it out because it wasn't written in as part of a new contract, not text messages. That's like talking. Has to be part of the new contract, and it isn't. And so I must grant him his judgment. But I'm proud that you are continuing to rehabilitate yourself. Good luck to you, sir. 1,000 is your judgment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant has been ordered to pay $1,000.
If you or a loved one are suffering from alcohol addiction, you're not alone. You deserve to get help. American Addiction Centers is an industry leader in addiction treatment and co-occurring mental health conditions. Our team of top medical experts is committed to ensuring that you get the care you deserve. Drug and alcohol addiction is treatable. Recovery is just a phone call away. We're here for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call us at 866-244-1070 or visit AmericanAddictionCenters.org.
Coming up,
So when she had told me, I was confused. I didn't know how
I'm not
long.
confused. You're saying over a year. She's saying a few months. How do you know how long it's been? This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Dan Winslow is suing Lucy Beauregard in the amount of $422. Mr. Winslow claims his date for his college homecoming dance backed out and says he was stuck paying for a costly tux in a party bus.
State your name,
Dan Winslow, Your Honor.
ma'am.
Lucy Beauregard.
All right, and sir, you're suing the defendant for $422, alleging she owes you this money because she failed to show up for the homecoming dance, and these are the expenses you incurred. Start with you.
Your Honor, me and Lucy, we go to this small college in Dallas, Texas, and every year the school hosts the homecoming dance. So I was like, you know what, y'all right. I'm gonna have the courage to go talk to her. And I've been seeing her around campus lately. I've seen her. You know, we share a few classes together, and I usually see her at the gym sometimes. I mean, I think she's really pretty. Mm-hmm. And so, one day after class, I go up to her and I ask her, Lucy, will you go to the dance with me? And she basically was just like, yes, I would love to go with you.
I didn't say that. I said, sure, why not?
She said she would love to go to this dance with me, Your Honor.
I did not say that.
And
Let me hear from her how it went, because I got a different story than my wife has when we met. So
Yeah.
go ahead, let's hear what's your story. My story is a lot different from my wife. She don't want to give me my props. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he seemed, nice, but he was very shy. So when he did ask me, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, he seemed nice
She
and
was more
very,
excited.
very polite when he asked me. And yeah, my ex-boyfriend and I did recently break up. So when I wasn't planning on going, but when Dan did ask me, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Because I'm still, trying to get over my ex. Like, let me just take my mind off things. Let me just go with Dan, see how it goes.
Coming up,
He has a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. He already has a new girlfriend, and they've been broken up for over a year.
No, not a year.
They've been broken up for
how would
over
you
a
know
year,
if you don't know him or me that well?
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis.
Mathis Court is back with the case of Dan Winslow, who is suing Lucy Beauregard for $422.
Let me get back to it. She said yes, she'll go. Like I said, I'm very excited. And I told her I'm gonna hook us up,
She said, I love to go.
No, I did not.
Go ahead. I know that's
No,
what
I
she said.
didn't.
I
No,
know
I
that's
did
what
not.
she said.
There you go. And so I told her I'm gonna give me a nice tuxedo, you know what I'm saying? I said, even I'll get us a party bus that we're gonna split with more couples. Cause my friends were coming with me and they wanted to come within the party bus that we were all gonna go and split. And so I told her this, she was down. I said, what are you gonna wear? Like, should we match? Like, I was giving her all the details of like, how are we gonna pull up to this date? Cause asking her, she's gorgeous. Day before the homecoming dance, she calls me and tells me, why is my ex-boyfriend on this bus? I tell her, what that got to do with anything? One, I don't know him, Judge. I don't know
that he was gonna be on the
about
bus?
him.
You knew that he was gonna be on the
I don't know about him.
bus?
Two, he has a girlfriend. He already has a new girlfriend, and they've been broken up for over a year.
No, not a year.
They've been broken up for
how would
over
you
a
know
year,
if you don't
Judge.
know him or me that well? It's actually been a couple months.
I don't know you. I don't know him and his business.
Okay, but you
don't-
knew that he was my ex, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
over
so
a
if you
year
had just
ago.
told me-
Over a year
No,
ago. What does
I'm
that have to
telling
do
you
with
right
You
now,
know
we're
anything?
in a
how long they
relationship
had broken up?
I've only known what. So when she had told me, I was confused. I didn't know how
I'm
long.
not confused. You're saying over a year. She's saying a few months. How do you know how long it's been?
How will Judge Mathis rule? Find out when Mathis Court returns.
This is Mathis Court with Judge Mathis. Did you know the nature of their relationship?
No, that I didn't. That's why I said I don't know anything about it.
All right, well, don't act like you know so much now then either. So what's the lawsuit for, sir?
Your Honor, suing
Because
for-
you bought things, you didn't buy her items, did you?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, what's the lawsuit for?
I'm suing $422 for the tuxedo.
For you.
For the tuxedo and the party bus, which I didn't get to use for that day.
You want to pay for you couldn't go by yourself? They don't allow people in by themselves?
Your Honor, the point of going to a homecoming
I
dance is to
understand.
be with
Answer
your
my
date.
question, please. Could you have went by yourself?
Could I have? No.
Yes. They wouldn't let you?
I had paid for both of us.
Okay,
to go
I didn't
on the
ask you
bus.
that, sir. You're playing games now. I asked you if you could go by yourself and you said no. Why couldn't you?
How I see it, Your Honor.
How you see it. Your claim is dismissed. You are unable to answer that question because you know that question would cause you to lose your case. So you don't have to answer it because you lost it anyway by not answering it. Have a good day. Claim dismissed. You could have went on your own by yourself on that bus and look at her ex. Have a good day.
All rise.
Judge Mathis has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been dismissed.
I think the judgment was fair, and I believe I don't owe you anything.
The point I believe of going to homecoming is to be with the date, and her not going just defeats the purpose. So,
Now to grab your belongings. After you.
This has been a production of Allen Media Group.